Okay, new question. How do I know what I really want? How do I know what I really want? I think the confusion with this comes in when you hear many different ideas of do this, do that, this is good, that's good, and so on. And you're caught up in all these different thoughts and ideas. And you see somebody else doing something and that looks really good. And then you see social media, Instagram, you see people doing this, and you go, oh no, I like that. Yeah, traveling's what I really want. Yeah, I like traveling. And then you see somebody else who's doing up an old property, and you're like, no, I'd love that, doing up an old property. And you're just seeing lots of different things, and they all look good. They're all being sold to you. And the same with your career, same with where you're going to live, and so on. But there are those things free of all of that, which you like for its own sake, which you enjoy for its own sake. So, to become aware of what you enjoy, to become aware of what you love for its own sake, not because of the outcome. Because what we start to do is we start to compare things based on what this will get me, who I will become, what this will mean. And then you're into comparison. Well, that one gets me this and this gets me that. And oh yeah, if I go with this girl, she's a this. And if I go with this guy, it's a that. Do you see what I mean? And you start to then, you're into the world of comparing, comparison, judging. And it gets very confusing. And then you ask the question, how do I know what I really want? And the answer has to be, you have to hear yourself. Free of all of the ideas and the thoughts of what gets you more and makes you more. And really it's very, very simple in the sense of, what do you enjoy? What do you enjoy doing for its own sake? What do you have natural enthusiasm for? What do you really enjoy? It's like, you know, as a boy, I loved riding bikes. Just love riding bikes. Now I create sculpture. For my pastime, I shoot a bow. I do archery. I just love those things. And you ask yourself, what do you enjoy? What do you love? Can you bring about enough quietness, enough honesty, to be honest with yourself? What is it you enjoy for its own sake? So if you imagine there's nobody else in the world, you know, so in other words, what you're going to do, it's not going to be done for how that would appear to others, what status that will give you. You know, the great job, where you earn the great money, you know, all of those ideas, all of the great ideas of, you buy the car to become somebody. The car is an identity of who you think you are. The job is an identity of who you think you are. So all of this is about becoming more status, right? That robs you from being able to hear yourself. That robs you from being able to hear, what do I like? What do I love? What things do I enjoy? Free of what others think. And it's especially hard now with social media, because social media is constantly telling you how it should look. With your train, do functional training, get fit, eat certain foods, have a job which earns amazing money, have this, have that, live here. The whole, it's selling you this whole picture constantly. Everybody's selling you something, and for you to then be, really somebody. Because if you do all those things and you're in good shape and you're this and you're that, then you're somebody. But the truth is, what do you like? What do you like? What do you enjoy? Can you give yourself the freedom to do what you enjoy, just to have that space? Free from always having to do it the best, always having to be doing the thing which gets the greatest status, greatest move forward. It's just like play. Just what do you like to play? What do you like to do? And the same with your career, with your work. What speaks to you? What do you like naturally? Because I see that everybody has what I call their heart's desires. That which is innate to you, that which naturally you are drawn to, which you are naturally enjoy. Start there. So we'll come back to the question again. How do I know what I really want? You get in touch with your own heart's desires. You connect with that. And you start to build from there. And then the nuance of that, the particularness of it. I create sculpture. Then I love figurative sculpture. Then I love figurative sculpture which is in symbolic poses. You see, and I go down that rabbit hole, and I'm creating my work around all of it. But the basis of it, first of all, was I love to create with my hands. Then I love the idea of sculpture, because it's free form, working on free form. Then it's figurative, then it's symbolic. You see, it's this whole expression, but it starts off in one place and you travel. And you start off with your own heart's desires, that which you enjoy, that which you are naturally drawn to, for its own sake, free of the outcome. Because the egoic mind is never going to say, go with what you love for its own sake, unless it thinks that gets you something.